Hello guys, it's me again, Winning Sarah. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support. In fact, I've realized from my last video, the views have increased and the subscribers have also increased. So continue subscribing, continue telling your friends to subscribe. Yeah, and let's dive into the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be cooking beef while telling you a certain story that happened to me in the hospital. So stay tuned. Yeah. So with me here are my ingredients. I have onions. I have this one. I don't know what's called in English. I have tomatoes. I have a ginger. Yeah, ginger. I have garlic. Yeah, I have garlic. I also have this is tomato paste. I have Royco cubes, and this one is chili beef. Yeah, something like that. Chili. Then I have this garlic, the spices, garlic, beef masala, turmeric, and this is chili flakes. Chili. This is chili. Yeah. So let me show you our beef. Our beef was here in the pressure cooker, and it's ready. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it's already boiled. So it's just what's remaining is just to it's just to fry it, or rather to stew it, to make it a stew. So here we go. Yeah, this is the beef. So let me prepare the ingredients. Let me prepare the ingredients. So I'll start with the onions. I already have my knife here. And don't worry, I had already washed my hands, so it shouldn't bother you. Oh my god, this onion is so hard or difficult. Yeah. So this is the onions. I think one onion will be enough. Then also have garlic and all the other ingredients that we've already seen. Yeah, and oil. I forgot to show you I have oil here. Yeah, so there's a story I want to tell you. A story that happened to me in the hospital. Yeah, for my returning subscribers, you already know I'm a nurse. Yeah, I'm just a new nurse. I finished school recently. So I want to tell you my experience in the hospital wards. My experience in the hospital wards with a certain patient. I want to tell you my experience in the ward with a certain patient. But before that, let me prepare the ingredients first. So how is this called in English? I've forgotten it, but in Kiswahili it's pilipili hoho. Oh my god. I have a chopping board and I want to I think this is even more than enough, but it's just okay. Yeah, it's more than enough, and it's just okay. let me try to hurry up because oh my god, I almost cut myself because it's getting late and I want to do other important things. Yeah. So there is this day. Yeah, there is this day in the hospital. You know, when we used to be students. Let me finish cutting first because this noise will interrupt whatever I'm saying you want here. So let me finish cutting, then I tell you the story. Yeah, and at the end of this video, you make sure you comment to tell me what you think about the story and all that. So let me just transfer this to this so that I can use this chopping board to cut the tomatoes. Yeah. When I used to be small, I used to hate this name. What is it called in English? Is it? It's not black pepper. I don't know. It's I don't know why I've forgotten the name, but this one. When I used to be young, I used to hate it so much because when you cook it and it's not well cooked, like you can feel the taste. It's somehow bitter, not bitter like the other pepper, but it's bitter. So now we have the onions and this one, pilipili hoho. You can tell me what's called in English, I've forgotten. Then now let me prepare the tomatoes. Okay, I had already washed. Don't say that I didn't wash. I had already washed and I don't want to repeat because I'm rushing. Yeah. So I like cutting my tomatoes this way because it's easier to pound when cooking than when I cut like this. I feel like it's just giving yourself a difficult job, and yet you can just do like this fast. Yeah. So I was telling you, when I was a student in the wards, there is this one day we had a certain patient in the ward. So this patient, okay, I'm not mentioning names or anything, but this patient had gotten an accident. Then he was brought to the ward, and I was in that ward by then with other students from my class. So you know, in the wards when you're students, there's something called allocation. Each student is allocated to a certain patient. So in the morning when you get into the ward, the first thing you do is to receive the report from the nurses from the night shift. Then after receiving the report from the night shift, now there is damp dusting. Damp dusting is like cleaning. Yeah, cleaning around the hospital. Then there is after damp dusting, there is allocation. Now, each student is allocated to a certain patient. If the patients are many, you can find like you have like 3 patients per student. Or if the ward is almost empty, you'll find like you have like the ratio is 1:1. 1 student, 1 patient, but it's very rare because in a government hospital, the wards are always almost full. Yeah. So after allocation, now you'll have to care for that patient, like total care. You make sure the bed is spread, bed making. Yeah. You make sure if it's a surgical ward, if the patient has a wound, you're the one who will clean that wound. if the patient has any medication, you're the one who will give the patient that medication, and the one who will administer the medication. Anything the patient is to, if the patient is to go for a scan, or if the patient is to do anything, you'll be like the personal nurse to that patient. So on this particular day, yeah, I had my own patients, but I was done with everything for my patients. I think my patient had a wound. I had already dressed. I had already made the bed, and then I was free. Then there is this other student who had been allocated another patient. Then something came up, and she told me, "We need just what will I say? Just do it. Take care of this patient of mine because something has come up, and I won't be able to take care of him. He was a male patient. Yeah, because I was in male ward." So I just accepted. Now that patient of mine, I told you he had gotten an accident, so he had a wound on the face. So then he was supposed to be taken for a dental checkup because apparently he was hurt on the face, and he had done a scan, and now that scan, a facial scan, it was to be reviewed by a dentist. Yeah, so I had to take him to a dentist. So I went and talked to him. I told him, "I am going to take you to the dentist," and so on and so forth. Then I took him to the dentist and I brought him back. Only that, I didn't do any other thing. I just took him to the dentist. I brought him back. I waited for him while we were at the dentist. Then after the review by the dentist, now we came back to the ward. And then now from that day, you see, he was not my patient. But now from that day, he just knew me. Now anytime that I'll be in the ward and he sees me, he just smiles. Yeah. So it's, like for me, I don't like being attached so much to patients because if I can remember the last time I was so attached to a patient, when you are attached to a patient and then something bad happens to that patient, you'll feel bad, you just regret, you'll feel like there is something I didn't do. If I could have done this, this would have happened. It makes you feel guilty, and yet you're not the only person in that ward who the patient would, like the patient was not only under your care. There are other senior nurses, there are doctors, there are everything, there like everything. But when you get so attached to a patient and then his condition gets worse, like you just feel so bad. So when I was a first it's when I was getting so attached to patients. But I came to learn that you should not be so attached to a patient because when it can haunt you. You should just do what you're supposed to do and go on. If you're supposed to do dressing, if you're supposed to give medication, just give medication and continue with their business. Don't be there like you want to know everything about the patient. Like you want to okay, it's good, but for me, it really affected me because most of the patients I got attached to, yeah, their condition somehow worsened, and I was just feeling bad about it. So I just said I don't want to be so attached to patients. So right now I'm done with the cutting. So this is onions. We have onions here. We have this pilipili hoho. We have tomatoes. This is a ginger, and this is garlic. No, is it ginger or turmeric? I think it's turmeric. It's turmeric, and this one is garlic. So yeah, now let's save this meat of ours, or let me just pour this. Let me drain this water. so that the meat can remain. I think I've even cut more tomatoes than the ones that I should have used. But let me just so that I can see if this meat is ready, because you know a pressure cooker. Let me taste. It's okay, but it doesn't have salt. Okay, so I'm going to be cooking. Let me just show you. Yeah, so this is the pan that I'll be using, and this is the meat, and these are the ingredients. So let me turn on the cooker. Yeah, so it's on, and this is the oil that I'll be using. But let me cook this meat first so that it can dry. Yeah, so this is the meat. Let's leave it to dry. Yeah. So meanwhile, let me tell you this story. Let me adjust this so that you can see me. I hope you can see me. Yeah. So I was telling you, I had that patient. So I took him to scans and I brought him back. I was there for him. Then, like my mind was not there my mind stuck to this particular patient. Because, there are a lot of patients in the ward, and in the first place, that patient was not even mine. It was allocated to somebody else, but because something came up for that girl, I had to step in and take him as my patient. So later on, that patient was discharged. I mean, I didn't even know. Okay, I knew he was discharged, but like, it didn't even click in my mind, like, blah, 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 or what. So, yeah. So, one day when I was walking home, when you're a student, like, you can't be taking a motorcycle home every time, or an Uber, or a car or something. Like sometimes you lack money and you have to work. So let me check on the meat first. Yeah. So one day when I was walking home, I was just in town. I was just passing by. Then I saw that patient, and that patient was what can I say? He was a rider. He was a motorcycle rider. So one day when I was walking in town, I saw somebody who is familiar and he had a mask on. Then when I moved closer, I realized that, so this is the patient that was in the ward. And me, I was just talking. Then I just said, hi. Then I was passing. Then when I was going, I had like somebody's following me from behind. So when I looked back, I saw like he's coming towards my direction, and he was on his motorcycle. So I was wondering, this patient was discharged yesterday. He had an accident, a fatal accident. He was discharged yesterday. And today he's already back on his motorcycle, he's ready. Then I was like, hey, okay, then he's hardworking. He's hardworking because how can you be discharged today and tomorrow you're already back to your work? Yeah. So then that patient now followed me. Now you know right now he's not a patient because he has been discharged. But let's look at the meat. Let's look at the meat. Yeah, I want it to dry. Okay, and I've cut a lot of tomatoes. I didn't know this meat is somehow small. So I'm going to add a little oil. I'm going to add a little oil and fry it. Yeah, I think that's enough. Because I don't want to put a lot of oil. Is it enough? Really? Let me add a little. Yeah. So let's continue with our story. And I hope you can see me. And if you can't see, I just hope you are hearing. You can hear me. So in short, that man followed me, and you know, like I was walking from school to town. Then in town, I take a matatu to home now where I used to live. Like I was already at the stage where the matatus were, and that man just came to me and said, "Hey, Daktari wangu, my doctor, you cared for me so well. I want to give you a lift." And I was like, "No, you know, I'm already at the stage. I'm just going to take a matatu, then I'll be fine." He was like, "No, no, 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 no. You can't walk. I have to carry you because you cared for me so well." And mind you, me, like, I didn't feel like I cared for him in any different way because that's just a normal thing. I only took him for a scan and brought him back. Only that. He was like, "You're a very good doctor. You cared for me so well." I don't know what and what. I was like, okay. So me, I just accepted and he gave me a lift. Let me check the meat. Right? Yeah, I was like, okay, I can't. I was like, okay, I can't refuse the. I can't like reject, so I had to accept. And you know what? Me, I thought he's going to take me up to the stage where I'm going, but he offered to take me up to the gate where I was living. So he went up to there and he gave me his number. He told me, "Ebu, let's leave. Our meet will." Our meat will what? Our meat will ungua. Our meat will burn. It will get burned. I don't know if this oil is new. It's small. Let me add. What? Let me add. Oh, and I didn't put salt. Hey, I'm just concentrating on giving me a story. Oh my god. So I'm adding salt. Yeah, just now I've added salt even if you didn't see. So I've added salt and I've covered it. It's cooking. Yeah. So he offered to take me up to the gates in front of our home. So like then he gave me his number. Okay, when we reached there, I wanted to pay him, cause me thought he carried me because like he wanted to carry me so that I can pay him. Now when we reached at our home, I had like 50 shillings, the one I wanted to pay in the matatu. I told him, take this money because this is the one I wanted to pay in the matatu. Then he was like, no, you cared for me so well, I can't make you pay. And then he gave me his number, and he told me, like, whenever you are in town, never walk. You should never walk. Make sure you call me. I want to be carrying you all through. And you know how much it is from town to where I used to stay. It's 150 shillings. You can imagine that's all fuel. Somebody wasting that fuel on someone. And me, I said, hey, thank God. Because me was not seeing any different thing I did to him. Like he was saying that I was kind to him. I was a good one. I took care of him so well. Like me was like, but that's what I always do. Like I didn't feel like that's normal. I always do that to all patients. Like I take all my patients equally, um regardless of the status or what. I don't even look at the status. As long as you're allocated to me, I just give you my all. Yeah, let's check the meat. It should not burn. It should not burn. Yeah. So me, I just said, Ebo, let me set this thing. So I hope you can see me. Somebody just said, hey, thank you, God. Now I'll not be walking on this road forever. Then, yeah. So then, there is, and then the next day, I was not going to the shift. I think it was my off day. Then the other day, like I just didn't see the need to call him, because why should I call someone to carry me for free and I'm not paying him? So I just said like, me, I'm not calling him and I had money. So the next day I just like I did whatever I used to do, like always. I walk from the hospital to town, then from town I take a matatu to home. So that day, me like the next morning, I don't know if it was the next, oh yeah. The next morning, I took a motorcycle from home direct. I think I was late. So I couldn't walk and board a matatu. So I just took a motorcycle from our home stage to the hospital. Then when we reached in the hospital, like immediately outside the gate of the hospital, when now I wanted to climb down from the motorcycle that I was in at that time, and it was a different motorcycle, not the motorcycle for the patients. Yeah, it was a different motorcycle, not the motorcycle for that patient. So like it was a coincidence. Me, I was on this motorcycle, then another motorcycle was behind me. So when I climbed down, and then I was to pay that rider with my phone from my M-Pesa. Then now I when I wanted to pay, like I'm on my phone, already pressing my phone, I'm on M-Pesa, I wanted to pay. Then I heard somebody saying from behind, no, usilipe, don't pay. When I looked behind, hiya, it's that patient again. Like it was just a coincidence. He was behind me. He was bringing another person to the hospital, and also me was going to the hospital. So like we met like outside the gate, and he was like, "Don't pay. How much is it?" Then I told him it's 100. Then he was like removing money from his pocket. He wants to pay, and I was like, "No, let me just pay." And he said, "No. You cannot pay. You cared for me very well. You're my doctor." And I'm not a doctor. I'm a nurse. And by then I was a student. He was like, no, you can never pay when I'm on this road. You can never walk on foot and you can never pay. Imagine he paid for me. Hey, me, I said, well, thank God, now I've gotten money for lunch. And you know, like, me, like, a bullet, look at the meat. Ooh, I think it's going on well. Let's add Nini. What? My friend. I should have a videographer because what? Let me add the garlic. Yeah, I've added garlic. I've added garlic. Then I'm adding turmeric. I've added garlic, now I've added turmeric. Then I add pilipili hoho. Now I'm adding this one. So let it cook. Well, let me finish the story faster because I have other things to do. Yeah, now I was saying that patient of mine, he paid for me again. So like, you know what I'm trying to say is like sometimes the little things that we do, they matter. The little thing that you do matters. Like for me, you know, it was not a big deal for me to take care of that patient, but to him, it was a big deal. He was like, at least you gave me attention. Like the other students were just there. They were like, they don't want to get close to me, but you got close to me. You gave me attention. Yeah. So that's my story. And you know, from that day, now I used to hide from that patient. I used to hide from that rider who was my patient because I used to know his stage. So every time I was in town and I was around his stage and I saw him, I used to hide because I don't want him to carry me because he's going to carry me for free and he's going to waste his fuel. Like even if I want to pay him, he doesn't want to receive my money. So like, yeah, what I'm just saying is when you do something, whether you're a nurse or a doctor or a student or anything, you don't have to be a nurse. Like, just be kind to people. Yeah, just be kind to people. Just be kind to people. Because you don't know who is watching and what's going through his mind. So one day, that person who you cared for or who you are kind to might help you somewhere else. So yeah, that's the end of my story. And I think I'm going to end the video here. Yeah, I was cooking, but I have to end the video here because I want to cook faster. I have a lot of other things to do. So I hope you liked the story. I hope it inspired you. I hope it encouraged a student out there. And don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and bye. Let's meet on my next video.